Hello and welcome to Canadian SME Small Business Podcast. I'm your host SK. Small businesses not only add a personal touch to our local market but also bring creativity, diversity and innovation. They create jobs, support communities and drive economic growth. Their impact extends beyond the financial. They shape our culture and reflect the character of our neighborhoods. With every episode, we bring you insightful discussions with thought leaders, innovators and change makers. We delve into the journeys, challenges, and triumphs of small business owners, uncovering lessons and strategies to inspire and empower our entrepreneurial community. Stay tuned as we explore the vibrant world of small businesses and the people who bring them to life. Joining us today is Norman Musengimana, a visionary in the field of economic development. Norman's journey is marked by his commitment to fostering sustainable growth and innovation in Kingston. His expertise in aligning private and public enterprise initiatives has been instrumental in transforming Kingston into a hub for entrepreneurs and diverse businesses. Norman's approach is a blend of dynamic leadership and collaborative strategies aimed at making Kingston one of the Canada's leading sustainable economies. Hello, Norman. It's a pleasure to have you here with us on Canadian SME Small Business Podcast. How are you doing today?
I'm very good, sir. How are you?
I'm doing very well. Thank you for asking. Let's dive into our conversation and learn more about your journey and insights and also about Kingston Economic Development Center. Each city has its own charm and potential. Kingston, in particular, has attracted diverse talents, including yourself. Can you share with us your personal journey to Kingston and what made this city your choice for entrepreneurship?
Yeah, thank you so much. So that's a loaded question, but I try to answer it. So I was born in Rwanda. Rwanda is in East Africa. And of course, like many people might probably be aware of, Rwanda went through a period of the war, the genocide. So I was a refugee for 10 years in Kenya. And then I went back to Rwanda for my professional career. And then when I started making a little bit of money, I was like, okay, I need to explore the world a little bit better. And so that's when I decided to start exploring. I went to the US for 6 months, didn't make it really well, went back to Rwanda, went to Belgium, went to the UK. And then 2017, I was like, there is that country called Canada. I've never been there. Everyone says it's very cold. And then I had worked with a few Canadians in Rwanda and then in South Sudan. And then I remember like those are the only people who used to send me greeting cards on Christmas. And like, those people used to be actually better than everyone else because many of the foreigners we worked with, they will get you to the airport.
Right.
Bye, Norman. And then you go and you never hear from them. But all the Canadians will send you a card, how is family? I was like, these people used to sound like they were really genuinely nice people. They were interested. So I was like, okay, let me give Canada a chance and come to Canada and try to see how I can make a life work out. So I went to Queen's University for 1 year. Okay. And then once I graduated, I had already built relationships and contacts in Kingston. And I remember the first day I was in Kingston, I wanted to go to Queen's to just look at the university, have an idea of where I will be going to study and everything. And then I was at a junction because I was using European telephone and a SIM card.
Okay. Then
my data got finished. And then I made like 5 steps forward and then back. And then my Google map couldn't move.
Okay.
And one lady who was across the lights, she came to me and she was like, you look like you're having some difficulties. Can I help you? And then I was like, oh yeah, I want to go to Queens. And then she's like, oh, that road straight, once you see a big gate, that's the one of the bigger parking slot in Queen's University. Go, you will be right in Queens. Everything around you will be Queen's University. And so because of my life in Dallas, in DFW, and my life in London, my life in Brussels and Ulster, in those countries, whenever I had issues, nobody cared. But here I realized someone actually can even have the audacity to even come to me and even speak to me. I was like, wow.
Yeah, the people here, like, they are very helpful, they are very concerned, and they are always ready to help each and everyone.
Yeah.
Norman, when did you landed in Canada and what were your thoughts when you landed in Canada?
Yeah, of course, like every immigrant, the first thing when you talk about Canada is the cold. So that's probably the hardest thing that I had to overcome in my mindset. But I landed in Canada in 2017, in September. And then I did 1 year. And then I started my first startup as part of the program that I was doing at Queen's. my startup didn't survive more than 2 years. But because I was already in Kingston interacting with ecosystem partners, the moment I said that my startup is normal, I was given opportunities to work, and that's how I ended up at Kingston Economic Development Corporation.
That's good.
Yeah.
Kingston economic landscape is shaped by an integrated development strategy focusing on sustainable and innovative growth. Could you elaborate on this strategy and its priority sectors and how they contribute to Kingston economic prominence?
Yeah, so basically, Kingston is one of the cities where we have worked on an integrated economic development strategy, where, for example, the city of Kingston, Kingston Economic Development Corporation, Tourism Kingston, Kingston Accommodation Partners, stakeholders from Queen's University, St. Lawrence College, Royal Military College. Like, we came together and created an integrated economic strategy that is built around the strength of the community and the resources, assets that we have. So rather than reinventing the wheel and trying to start from a vacuum, where like we can start from where we are strong,
Right.
and then we'll build on from there. And so we have two priority sectors right now, and one of them is sustainable manufacturing. So everything to do with, for example, chemical technologies. You would have had probably a few last year that there was an investment by a Belgian company in the region called Umico, $1.5 billion. We have very good accelerators for chemical technology companies. So any entrepreneur who's out there who's looking to start at a chemical technology company, we have some of the best accelerators in town. So please come join us. And then when it comes to health sciences, we have the University Hospital, and then we have Queen's University with a faculty in health sciences. So we have also some of the best resources in terms human capital, in terms of maybe if someone wants to pilot their company, their startups in a hospital environment, we can easily make those connections. And then Kingston as a community, we are also gifted with arts and the creatives. So you might have heard the stories of the Tragically Hip, for example. They were from that small community. And so we have a lot of gifted and talented people in the creative industry. And so we also try to support them as somewhat like quasi priority sector. So those three areas are where we spend most of our time supporting entrepreneurs. But like the work I do as Norman, I am sector agnostic. So any entrepreneur who has an idea, my job is to help them make those ideas become a reality. Any existing business that want to launch a new product, a new service, my job is to empower them to make that idea or that service become readily available to the market. And then as an organization, we have other resources, of course. We have programs around funding, around training programs, so to help entrepreneurs to learn when they are available or at their own free time. And then we have a team that works on investment attraction. And so this is where we are trying to attract foreign direct investment. Okay. And so some of the work that they do is not only to identify those companies that are multinational in nature, that add to the economic development strategy that we have, that can help us build towards to where we want to go. Attract them to Kingston. Once they are there, we try to help them to identify maybe if they want an office, we try to work with existing realtors or co-working spaces to help them get space. If they are looking for land, we work with the city officials to try and identify industrial land for them, and so on and so forth. And so on my side, I work with the Small Business Center. And the Small Business Center is funded by 3 levels of government. We have funding from the City of Kingston. We have funding from the Ministry of Economic Development, Job Creation and Trade. And then some of the programs we run are funded federally by the federal government. And so it's an organization that supports small business owners from when you have no idea to when you have an idea, to probably even setting up and establishing your business, to strategizing how you can grow and expand your business, and then also helping you expand. If you want to grow internationally, we do have partnerships and collaborators and like contact details. For example, in Export Development Canada, in Global Affairs Canada, we trade commission service. So we can also send people who are in Kingston or around Kingston to be able to expand outside Canada.
Yeah. So, and you mean to say like Kingston Economic Development Center provides support from startups to the existing businesses, and they want to go global and all those stuff. So like just this question is for for our listeners, like how anyone can get in touch with your organization.
Yeah, so as an organization, we are called the Kingston Economic Development Corporation, but we also have what we call a destination brand. So if you go on Google and you do Invest Kingston, the website that you're going to land on, that's our website. We have on About Us page, we have the entire team there. Our emails, our LinkedIn, they're all there. So you can identify the person you want to get in touch with based on your industry, your business stage of growth, probably some of the programs you're interested in. You can reach out to all of us. We are always responsive. We're always looking for people who are interested in understanding and learning about how they can set up in Kingston, because that's why we exist as an organization.
The support system for businesses in Kingston is quite robust, offering a nurturing environment for growth and innovation. How does Kingston ecosystem uniquely collaborate to support businesses and entrepreneurs?
So, as a community and as a city, we are very lucky. We are not as huge and massive as, for example, Toronto. We have a population of close to 150,000 people. So I know almost every decision maker in every key organization. So already by a business owner being in my office, I can be able to make a phone call to the city, to the university, to another business, to an incubator, to an accelerator, to a co-working space. Like, we know these people, they know us. We all know what everyone does, the role they play in the ecosystem. And so we are lucky that way, because if you get into one of our ecosystem partners' office, they can be able to tell you, for this, go to this point, for this, go to this person.
Easy accessible. Right?
Yeah, we are nimble, we are accessible, we know each other, we work together. So we enjoy what we do, and we are always ready to help people succeed.
Kingston has rapidly evolved as a thriving hub for entrepreneurs. Its unique blend of culture, resources, and community support makes it stand out. Norman, what, in your view, makes Kingston an ideal city for starting or setting up a business?
Yeah, what makes Kingston a really good city to set up a business is the nimbleness or the fluidity in the ecosystem. So it's a very small ecosystem where we know everyone who's supposed to support you, no matter what industry you are in. We have all the skill set that you might be looking for, because we have academic institutions in the city. And then we also have policies that guide us onto what to do, when to do it, what business to support, how to support it. I think one of the other things that we have that we really don't talk about a lot is that we are about 30 minutes away from the US border.
Yeah.
And so what that means is, as an organization, we have established what we call the Kingston-Syracuse pathway. So some of the companies that actually set up in Kingston, they can be able to access the US market through that collaboration. And what we do is basically an email introduction, and the people on the other side of the border, they're like, welcome, how can we help you, and really give you the time. So we do not only have a really good ecosystem, but we keep thinking about new ways and set up policies and programs that help someone start from the ground and until they grow or even expand beyond the Canadian borders.
Right. Kingston Economic Development Corporation is known for its significant role in aiding entrepreneurs. How does this organization specifically assist new and established entrepreneurs in the city?
Yeah, so one of the things we do is we do a lot of consultations with business owners. And all our services are free of charge. We don't charge any money because we are funded by the 3 levels of government. So we do consultations. Like, for example, if I receive someone today, one of the things that I do is I would try to understand them and the needs of their businesses. And then based on that, I would try to identify resources that we can support them with. I will talk to either financial institution partners. Many of the people are like, they want to access funding. They don't have a business plan. We guide them into that process, go through the business plan with them and tell them, oh, you could change here, you could adjust here. And then if we can support them internally in the organization, then we also make phone calls or emails to our ecosystem partners, have them support them. If I can support them as Norman, then I call upon my team members. We have people in key strategic industries that we work with. And then we'll also make warm introductions and really every service we provide is built around the entrepreneur and the business they have. Usually, how I like to describe it to my clients, I usually tell them, you are the bus driver. Your job is to drive the bus, and my job, and then you tell me when you want me in the bus. I get in the bus, I support you, and when you want me out, you tell me, and when you want to park the bus to another support service, you tell me. I will make the home introduction and you will go there and you will get the service that you deserve. Basically, the business owner is our boss, because our job is to support them. The more they grow, the more jobs they create, and the more our tax base grows, and the more our economic power continues to flourish.
Yeah. So you are center and you play a very important role in connecting entrepreneurs with other entrepreneurs and other businesses where they can get benefited and where they can grow business, as networking is a very important element for any business to grow.
Yes. So most entrepreneurs, basically, especially if they're new into an ecosystem, they don't know anyone, right? Like sometimes people reach out to me on LinkedIn. They go like, hey, I'm planning to come to Kingston. I don't know anyone. How can I help? How can you help me? And where should I go? I'm like, oh, come straight to my office. Yeah. And let me know in advance how I can prepare for the meeting, so that when you are here, you don't waste your time. I already start making the connections, or I prepare my network that so-and-so will be in town in this industry. Let's organize how we can support them. Yeah.
For entrepreneurs contemplating their next business venture, location is a key decision factor. Why should they consider Kingston as their destination, and what unique advantages does the city offer?
Yeah, so there's a lot of good things about Kingston that we usually, I think most people are not aware of. So Kingston is located geographically between 3 hours to Toronto, 3 hours to Montreal, 2 hours to Ottawa. And then we have New York, Boston, DC within a 7 to 8 hours range from Kingston. So if you look at that population around just Kingston, we have a wider market than many people probably will perceive as, because if you look at the Kingston community alone, probably we are not big enough. But if you look at the reach that we have, because we have the railway, we have the 401 just passing through the city. So as a city, it is strategically located in an area where
and well connected.
Yes, very connected to all other larger cities around us. And so it's like you are just in the middle of a plate or a table, and you choose which direction you want to go to.
Yeah. So before we wrap up, I would like, is there anything that you would like to share with our listeners? And what is your key piece of advice for anyone who are starting the business?
Yeah, so I have a couple of ideas based on my experience, and some of the stories that I tell or the advice that I give are founded on my experience, also on my life before coming to Canada. So there is something I've learned based on the interaction I've had with people. I was supporting business owners during COVID, and I could see that some of the challenges, because people, I find like Canadians are genuinely nice, but there is a way I describe it. I say like people are too nice to their own detrimental. And what I mean by that is not to say that people should not be nice. People should be nice by all means. But I'll give you an example. During COVID, I will call someone who has a business and tell them, look, there is this program. We can help you access this program like this, and then you'll probably help support your business. And then someone will tell me, oh, no, man, I don't think I need that money now. There are people who need that money more than I do. And then maybe 3 months later, by the time it's too late, then they go like, oh, my working capital has drastically reduced, so I am looking for ways to access that money you said. I'm like, we can't get this money in less than 15 days. If you can't survive 15 days, it's really going to be difficult, right? So there is that genuine niceness of the business community we work with that sometimes might affect how they run their businesses. Sometimes I tell them like, look, you can access this funding program if you do ABCD, you will qualify.
Right.
And someone will say the timing is not right, and then later they say, oh, I actually want to do it. So that's one. So, and from an advisory perspective, and I say as someone who's running a business, you want to make sure that you always have enough cash flow to be able to afford to pay.
Funds are very, very important to run the business smoothly, right?
Yeah. So that's one piece of advice that I think is very crucial. The other one that I see a lot is the value of the business plan.
Right.
So, and I put it very simple. I tell people, like, let's say you want to visit a city you have never been in.
Right.
Do you go get a vehicle or a bicycle and start riding or driving towards like a location you don't know?
Right.
No.
Never, right?
Yeah. What do you do these days? Like I take Google Map,
yes.
Plan, Yeah. So it's like, so then I go like, now, if you take the Google Map,
right,
exactly that's the role the business plan plays.
Right.
Because it makes you take a tour through the business because you are thinking about the strategies, the opportunities, the challenges, the market. And so you're taking a tour through the business before you actually run it.
Right.
But then there is also another value that the business plan plays. I always say, if you don't have the financial resources you need to be able to start the business you want to start, and you're going to have to convince someone else to invest in your business, you need a business plan because you need to be able to explain to that other person that their money is worth being invested in your business. And the only way you can show them that you understand what you want to do is by showing them either a business plan or a pitch deck. So you must have done some planning somewhere before.
As the saying goes, if you're failing to plan, then you're planning to fail.
Exactly. Rightly put. Yeah, that's the best way to explain it.
Yeah. Is there anything else, Norman, you would like to share?
Yeah, I would like to say that Kingston is a fantastic community. You can see me. I wasn't born in Kingston, near to Canada. I've chosen it as my home. So if you are there wondering what life is like in Kingston, please don't hesitate. Reach out. I'm accessible on LinkedIn, via email. If you go on our website, we can give you more insights on what life is like, what life feels like in Kingston, and what it is like to do business in Kingston.
Thank you so much, Norman, for sharing your journey, your thoughts, and your insights. It was a pleasure hosting you today. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It's always a pleasure. And anytime you want us, we are one phone call away.
For sure. We will get connected. And as your vision and our vision is same, like empowering as many small businesses as possible.
Yeah. And I was a little bit mad that I didn't participate in the SME Summit.
Oh, yeah. Thank you so much.
I knew it a little bit late.
Yeah. So next time, definitely we will get in touch with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah.
And that's wrap up another insightful episode of the Canadian SME Small Business Podcast. A big thank you to Norman for sharing his invaluable insights. Our gratitude also extend to our partners, exclusive banking partner RBC, exclusive shipping partner UPS, and exclusive accounting software partner Xero. Don't forget to subscribe to Canadian SME Small Business Magazine for more inspiring stories and expert advice. Keep championing and rejoicing in the spirit of small businesses. They are the vibrant heart of our communities, today and always.